Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Jacob here for the J2H channel, and today we have a pretty cool unboxing. There's a bunch of stuff in here. Okay, that's just gonna hang out up there like a devil horn. We got a bunch of stuff in here. So we've got Warner Archive, bought part of their 4 for 44 sale, their last one. 3 packages from Krazy Joe, which is crazy, ha, and a couple screener titles. And another Warner Archive title. Oh, and my first ever Kino, so pay attention. But yeah, tons of stuff, and this is up to date. The very last thing you'll see I got yesterday. So I'm up to date, and as you can kind of tell, stuff's going down, getting moved, so this will be the last haul for a significant amount of time. At least media haul, non-comic books. So let's get right into it. So I've already kind of mentioned this box here is actually from Warner Archive. So they say their last 4 for 44 sale before they shut down their storefront and started shipping through Amazon. So I figured there's a couple things. I only grabbed 4 things because I didn't know, because I'd never bought from them, that you could just add another thing for $11. So there's 4 things because I thought I could only grab 4. But there was a few things I wanted to pick out, and we'll show those off. So we'll go by format. The first thing I've never watched, whoops, actually it's for my wife. She apparently loves this. She said her and her brother used to watch it all the time as a kid. I know this is harder to find, so this is the MOD version. I think the regular version is hard to find, so this is the MOD version. These are all $11. You guys will have to let me know if it's good. I'm sure I'm gonna get some gruff because I've never seen it. Little Giants on DVD. Again, it's the Warner Archive version. I believe the other one's a white case. I'm not sure. But Little Giants with Rick Moranis and Ed O'Neill. So, like I said she used to watch this all the time as a kid. I think it's her brother's favorite movie. So, pretty cool there. Glad I grabbed that while I could. Next thing is a personal favorite of mine. I can't believe I didn't own this before on DVD. Glad I have it now, finally, in the collection. I own it digitally, but I didn't own it on DVD. The original is actually a snapper. So this one is not. This is, lost my train of thought. Oh, it's not a snapper. This is the MOD. That was my point. Ready to Rumble, which is the 2000. I believe this is 2000 or 99. It's got to be 2000. This is the 2000 David Arquette and Olivia LaPlatte, Scott Conn. But this is the WCW inspired. This led to David Arquette being the WCW champion, etc., etc., etc. But I've seen this several times, and I'm glad I grabbed the Warner Archive version of the DVD, the MOD non-snapper version. So I'm actually going to be checking this out sooner rather than later. Next up, so the next 2 are Blu-rays. This title it's kind of a hard watch, and you'll know why when I show you what I watched. I watched this for the first time in Spanish class when I was in Spanish in high school, and the ending is super sad. It's a great movie though. It's a really cool. It's a great movie. It's a really sad story, is what I was going to say, and I love that it's an MOD. Though I believe it's on HBO Max, so I could have watched it. But Selena, I think my wife has watched it. We're gonna watch it one time, see if it makes the permanent shelf. I remember it being uber sad because the story of Selena is uber sad. And I also think she has a Netflix series now about Selena's life. So this is Jennifer Lopez, right? Yeah, probably the first thing I remember seeing her in. Selena. Like I said, Blu-ray. Just kind of gonna check it out and see if it's worthy of the. Because I've only seen it the one time, just the one time in the Spanish class. And I remember enjoying it the first time, but that's because you're kind of you don't know where it's headed. You know what I mean? So now as the second time, it'll kind of be oh, I don't know. We'll see. And the last title, so this has got kind of a story. So when I was a young boy, my father took me into the city. No, we went to Walmart back when they had the dump bins, and I had just fallen in love with Back to the Future, and I remember seeing this movie with stars Michael J. Fox in the dump bin. It wasn't $3.74 back then. It would have been $5 on DVD. Again, a snapper, and I grabbed it, and I remember watching it at my mom's house because I just happened to be going there that night. And I remember watching it, and my stepfather, my mother, and my brother were playing in the back of the living room. And like, I think there's 10 minutes, 20 minutes into this, there's just nudity. And now, mind you, this is a PG-13 movie, so my dad assumed he's 13, he can watch it. So much nudity. I watched the whole movie, but I remember feeling super uncomfortable, and then woke up the next day, I didn't have the movie anymore, because my parents were like, that's inappropriate. Because again, if I was living there, I would have been, pretty sure I was under 13, I was probably 10 or 11 at the time, so. Either way, I haven't seen it since. Stars Michael J. Fox, Doc Hollywood. I remember there being a ton of nudity, because obviously if it's one scene, they'd have been like, okay, maybe you didn't catch it. But there's, I guess, some shit that goes down. But Michael J. Fox, and it looks like Woody Harrelson, which I don't remember. I don't remember anything about this movie except for the fact that I believe he's in California and he's traveling. Maybe his car breaks down based on the... I honestly don't remember. I watched it one time back in the early 2000s. 2004, 2005. No, it had to be before 05. 3 or 4, I can't remember. But we'll see. We'll check it out. And I remember this is one of the titles where I was like, oh, it's a Warner Archive. I should grab it. So I did when I got the sale. It's 4 titles. Really only one I know makes the shelf automatically. The others kind of... Well, 2, because my wife likes Little Giants. Very next package is open in the back because he packages like a madman. This is from a trade with Mr. Krazy Joe. Again, my podcast, link in the description. I watched this recently. If you haven't seen the video, we did a retro podtastic for YouTube. We actually shot a video version well within the podcast. And he has 2 copies of this. He has a Criterion version and this version. And I had bought the 4K copy of Hitman's Bodyguard at a family video to sell. And he's like, oh, I've never seen that. We were talking about the second one, the Hitman's Bodyguard's wife. So I have never seen the original, so I have the 4K. I spent next to nothing on it. You want to trade? He was like, absolutely. So I got the Blu-ray version of The Breakfast Club. Really enjoyed this. I'm excited for a rewatch. And yeah, it was good enough to make the shelf, which is what he asked when he proposed the trade. So yeah, Emilio Estevez, Molly Ringwald, Anthony Michael Hall. This being the 25th anniversary, which means this was like 10 or 15 years ago. Doesn't say. I don't know, but cool beans. And I own it digitally too, but it's kind of cool to have these on the shelf. Tell you, if the Criterion's ever cheap enough, I may upgrade. I don't know. I don't have many. I have 1 Criterion, so that tells you. I only got that because of a family closing family video. Next thing I initially bought for me, for nostalgia, this is off Mercari, and my kiddo watched it and loved it, and he's watched it. Oh, the disc is not in there. That's all right. He's probably watching it right now. He watched this and absolutely loved it. So I think he's watched, I'd say like 50 times since I bought this, and that's not an understatement. Like at one point he watched this all day, just kept rewatching it, driving my wife crazy. This is the Disney Pixar animated film Buzz Lightyear of Star Command: The Adventure Begins, starring Tim Allen. This is the DVD version. I had the VHS tape as a kid. I love this movie. As a kid, I watched the VHS tape so many times. I don't think you could play it anymore. Like there would be parts that would skip, and I'd know they were coming because I've seen the VHS tape so many times. So glad I snagged this. I think I got it for like $7 shipped off Mercari, which was awesome. This is way out of print, not available on Disney Plus for whatever goddamn reason. But I remember thinking about this all the time. Rick had a copy for me. I didn't end up grabbing it. I think Pam had a copy once, and I didn't end up grabbing it for whatever reason, and I wanted to get it for a decent price, which they both offered it to me at a decent price. I just never pulled the trigger. So finally one day, now that the kiddo became obsessed with Toy Story within the last, May, 5 months? So I was like, I wonder if he likes this, because I do. And he fell heads over heels, man. He watches this all the time. I'm pretty sure he likes this more than the Toy Story movies now. So the show and the movie need to come to Disney Plus so I can show him the show. But glad I had this for the collection. I need to find a second copy now, just in case, because he has gone hog wild over it. Next up is another item. I'm going to refrain from showing the packaging on the front because he tapes the living shit out of these. He's a madman. He's Krazy Joe. But this is kind of a cool item because we were talking about this. I guess that his friend wrote... So this is a book. It's the only book, I promise. His friend wrote this book, Mr. Tom Silknitter, and he was mentioning, like, hey, I'm going to hang out with him. I believe they're going to see Batman. They all rented a theater. They were going to go see the 89? The 89 Batman? Pretty sure. The Tim Burton one. And I said, hey, you should get that book that he wrote, like a signed copy. That may be worth money, or at least it'd be cool. That'd be something cool to have. He was like, that's a good idea. So what he did was he bought a different copy of the book for him to sign, and then he sent me this. Or so I thought. And if you look, it's signed by the author. To Jacob, have a great future, Tom Silkner. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. So he had his copy signed to me and sent me my copy. So Joe's just an awesome guy. Thanks, Joe, again, if you're watching. So pretty cool to have. I think it's an unauthorized Back to the Future book. Disclaimer, Back to the Future films. Yeah, but it's really cool. So it's called Build It With Some Style. It's the story of I believe it's the DeLorean. I haven't checked this out. I haven't read it yet, but unauthorized tales of time machines from Back to the Future. So kind of like what that film Back in Time was about. This is like the documentary style, except it's in whatever. And I remember when he told me about his friend got a book published, I was excited. I'm like, that's really cool. And then what's the subject matter? He's like, Back to the Future. So obviously I was all about it. So now I have a signed copy of this for my library, which is fantastic. So thank you again, Mr. Krazy Joe and Mr. Tom for signing it for me. So that's awesome. Next two titles are actually from FedEx. These are two screener titles, both from Warner Brothers, because they came together. And I've already done videos on these. I don't think you can do two links at once. So link, and then as soon as it expires, another link. But yeah, these are two screener titles, or two of the like day and date Warner Brothers movies that came out recently this year. I've seen both now, but I only saw one in theaters. So the first being Judas and the Black Messiah, there on Blu-ray with a nice slip. Again, I've done a video on both of these, so I won't talk much about them. And more importantly, at least to me, The Little Things, which is Denzel Washington, Jared Leto, or Leto, I don't remember, and Rami Malek, excuse me. So, yeah, with the awesome stuff. I love the coloring on this one. Very excited about this. So this is the one I saw in theaters, and I enjoyed it. So, I think of the two, I still enjoy this one better. But again, I have videos on both, so I'm not going to talk too much about them. Next two things are from Amazon. So the first one, basically, I just bought because it's $4, and I wanted to snag the digital. I heard tons of good stuff about this film. I've never watched it for whatever reason. So $4 with a code was the right cover. Was the right cover. I'm looking at the cover because it's cool. The right price, so I snagged it. Let me know in the description if it's any good, if you'd watched it. Black Swan, which stars Natalie Portman and I believe Mila Kunis, right? Yes. A film by Darren Aronofsky, probably that one. But like it was literally $4 shipped on Amazon Prime, and it came with a code. So couldn't beat that. Check it out. I believe it's a dancing or ballet-ish movie. I've seen the trailer. I remember seeing the trailer when I was in. I don't want to date myself, but let's see. I feel like I was in high school when this came out. 2010. Yeah, I was in high school when this came out. So the next thing. I think I've said that every time. I apologize for my shitty transitional words. This is my very first Kino. It's my very first one. It's actually, I don't think it's their very first. No, I know it's not because they have Hannibal on 4K. But it's my first Kino. It's the 4K version. I love this movie. I had the DVD back when I was a real little kid. Then I upgraded to the Blu-ray semi-recently, so now I can upgrade to the like premium boutique 4K. This looks fantastic. This case, it's actually still sealed. Spaceballs on 4K from Kino. I don't know much about Kino Lorber. I don't even know how the fuck to pronounce it, if I'm being honest. I just know that Spaceballs is on 4K, and I needed to snag it. I remember waiting for a Kino sale to maybe get this. Maybe it's not even on the Kino website. Some sale somewhere to grab this. But they ended up discounting it to $19 one day. And Amazon gave me a promo credit because one of my items was late. I don't know, $5. So I paid $14 for this, which was cheaper than the deep discount at the time, which is where I was going to buy it from. So I will say the only thing that drives me nuts about Kino is the ribbons. Because if you look, like so, Love and Monsters. See the ribbon there? As that 4K with the black. They don't have that weird black 4K. Like this is what it should look like. You know what I mean? They just have half the ribbon missing, and maybe it's for the artwork, Maybe it's because they don't want to fit in to other standards. I'm not sure. But, oh, hey, speaking of which, that's my Blu-ray copy right there. So I just think that's bizarre, but I mean, it's a Kino. I don't know what to expect per se. It's got the big KL. So either way, I'm excited. I'm really excited to check this out in 4K. I think I've since shown it to my wife. She'd never watched it until they upgraded to Blu-ray. So what a fun movie. Really weird. It's really shiny. Look, you can see me. So it's a really bizarre Mel Brooks movie. You got the Schwartz and everything. It's great. It's good stuff. The following, there you go, I didn't see the next item. As you can tell, probably by the, you guys have probably gotten used to this by now, is another review title and something else I've already reviewed on the channel. This one's more for the kiddo than me. I wasn't the biggest fan of it personally, but I still enjoy it enough to, like, this will go on the kiddo shelf, which will be in this room eventually at some point. Tom and Jerry. Like I said, this held his attention for the entire length of the movie, which 101 minutes is decently impressive, so pretty cool. Though he doesn't like it as much as Sponge on the Run, so, but pretty cool. Again, check out the link in the corner to check out my review of this. But it's okay. It just doesn't. It's not really my Tom and Jerry. I prefer just the cartoons. I don't need live action anything with my Tom and Jerry. I like the old classic Chuck Jones stuff. Next up, again, another review title. This one, I don't think I've even filmed the regular video for. I think I'm doing this right after. The regular video will go up significantly first, and this one didn't quite make it in time to see Spiral, but it doesn't matter. It's always Saw time. We have Saw in 4K, the re-release. Fantastic kind of look. I love this franchise. It's my favorite horror franchise, so again, link will be in the description to check this out. But I just love this release. I love this franchise. Spiral was not my favorite. Actually, it was my least favorite. But we're getting more Saw. That's all I care about. And I'd love to see them continue to re-release these in 4K. But based on the fact that they're all getting new slips in July and they're not 4Ks, I don't see it happening. So I was glad that Lionsgate sent me over the very first film in my favorite franchise. So pretty cool. Of Warner Brothers. Of Lionsgate. And the last thing, and then we're up to date, is the third and final thing from Krazy Joe. So he sent this to me yesterday. I actually got it yesterday as of the day I'm filming this. And I said, hey, what's the occasion? And he explained to me how he got it, which that's his information to divulge. But essentially, he had an extra copy of this. So he was like, I know someone who absolutely wants this and needs it in his collection. And he was right, because I almost snagged this myself the other day. Amazon bumped it down to $17.99. It is an MOD Warner Brothers title. Batman vs. Superman, the Ultimate Edition. So this is the now with enhanced color and expanded picture aspect ratio. So I think this is the 4:3 aspect ratio or cut of this film. I could be wrong. This could be the IMAX. It's one of two. But yeah, it's Zack Snyder's Batman vs. Superman, which I believe is a 2014 movie, 2015. I don't know, it doesn't say. So, yeah, super cool. I love the picture of the actual regular 4K, which I have out there with the slip, has gone out of print since. And it's going for stupid money, so this will go right next to it. Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Again, I enjoy this movie. Not a popular opinion. I really enjoy this. So it's cool to own it in this new aspect ratio. I've actually seen it quite a few times, and it comes with the 4K and the digital code. So pretty cool. Thank you again, Joe. That's 3 items all in one unboxing. So pretty cool, all from Joski. So let's get to it. Let's get this bread, as I like to say, and do an elevator. So we've got Batman vs. Superman 4K re-release, Saw re-release on 4K, Tom and Jerry, the 2021 film from Warner Brothers, day and date with HBO Max, Spaceballs on 4K, again from, that one's actually from Kino, Kino Lorber, I think it's a Lorber, Black Swan on Blu-ray, Little Things on Blu-ray, again a day and date HBO film, as well as Judas and the Black Messiah, all day and date 2021 films. Built it with some style, the Back to the Future Unauthorized Tales of Time Machines, Buzz Lightyear Star Command, very out of print Disney DVD, The Breakfast Club, you know what? I forgot something. Hold on. Okay, so I totally forgot that I went up to my local disc traders yesterday and I grabbed an actual Blu-ray. I actually grabbed a Blu-ray. I always say it's an actual Blu-ray. But I got this from my local disc traders. I had some trade-ins, basically stuff that Pam wouldn't take and or wouldn't sell on eBay. So actually they took everything. It gave me $27 in credit, so I had over $40. And I saw this. I couldn't believe this was there. It is the Netflix Marvel Blu-ray release. This is out of print now. I wish it had the slipcover because I have the others, but it doesn't, and that's totally fine. Luke Cage Season 1, there you can see I paid $27, nothing out of pocket at all between the credit, so it's pretty cool. That is the Netflix Luke Cage, the complete first season. This was the last one released, so they released Daredevil 1, Jessica Jones, Daredevil 2, and Luke Cage. I need the slip desperately, so maybe I'll, my dang allergies, maybe I will try to snag it. I don't know. I'm never gonna, I don't know. It's so hard to find now. It's so hard to find. I think it's under people's radar that this is out of print. And I know it is because I was just talking with Krazy Joe about it, and he's like, oh, I didn't know those were out of print. So, yeah, Marvel and Netflix aren't on the same page anymore because of Disney Plus, so that's why these are out of print. So I need the slip, but I found Luke Cage Season 1 on Blu-ray, so pretty cool there. So anyway, let's continue with that elevator now. Continue to get this bread, however you want to say it. Anyway, so we have Luke Cage Season 1, which I forgot about because I'm an idiot. Let's see, how far do we get? Back to the Future book, Buzz Lightyear out of print DVD. The Breakfast Club, 25th anniversary. Doc Hollywood, this is our Warner Archive Blu-ray. Warner Archive Blu-ray of Selena. Warner Archive DVD of Ready to Rumble. And the Warner Archive DVD release of Little Giant. So pretty cool there. We've got what? Luke Cage is out of print. Batman vs. Superman's a 4K MOD. Got 3 2021 Warner Brother films. A Kino 4K. Autographed book, out-of-print Disney DVD, and 4 Warner Archive titles. So what a weird, cool haul. Like I said, it's been a minute since this sale, if that tells you how long it's been. These have been accumulating. So there you go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you again, Krazy Joe, especially if you were watching for 3 of the items. And yeah, there you go, guys. So be sure to check out all the links in the descriptions. My eBay, my Blu-ray.com, my TV Time, my Letterboxd, where I reveal all the TV shows and movies I watch, respectively. And Twitter and Instagram. So basically the 2 ways to keep up with what I'm doing are Instagram, 3 ways. Instagram, TV Time, and Letterboxd. Kind of just see what I watch and what I do. Also the podcast, which isn't stopping, even with how crazy and busy I am. The podcast with Mr. Krazy Joe, link in the description. But other than that, the last haul I'm looking at for a minute. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you later. Hey, have you liked yet? Have you subscribed yet? Go ahead and show that notification bell some love. And also check out this additional video, which should be kind of catered to your needs. And also this additional playlist featuring the item you just viewed. And go ahead and subscribe to show that love. Thank you.